Hi, so this is John of John's Machines, and my nephew Stuart, who has the blog site Stu's Shed, is about to demonstrate the Sawstop, which, if you haven't heard of it, is quite a remarkable invention. And basically it's designed to stop careless woodworkers from cutting off fingers and other bits and pieces which get in the way of the saw blade. So this is a 10-inch circular saw on a saw table, and it's fitted with an electronic device which automatically jams the saw stopped if it detects human flesh contacting the blade, and it does it all in such a short time that there's no damage to the actual flesh, which seems incredible because it must happen in the distance that the tooth would travel, less than a millimetre or two, I would imagine.
You might bleed, but it'll be a band-aid as opposed to a hospital visit.
So you still get a band-aid?
You might need a band-aid, depends on how fast you cut. So it might need a band-aid. Okay. You definitely need a new pair of shorts, one way or the other. So. Okay,
so this is the electronic unit and the spring-loaded hunk of aluminium which jams into the blade, and that's a disposable unit, costs about $100. So if you operate it, you have to put in a new $100 unit. So you have to work out the mathematics a little bit. Is your finger worth $100? I think I know what the answer would be in my workshop. So, we all set to go, Stuart?
All set to go. So I have here a human finger analogy. Now, when you normally see these demonstrated, they normally actually use one of those red sausages. I can't remember what they're called. They've got a stronger skin, so they're even less likely to show damage. This being an actual sausage, we will cut it, but even so, you'll still just see how limited a depth of cut you'll achieve. And as I said, you'll basically get a cut that a plaster would cover rather than an actual visit to a hospital. So I'm just going to sit it on top of a board here. That way I can carry it into the blade. I'm going to leave the blade at full height, which is quite a scary looking height for anybody. Now, when I first turn on the machine, it actually goes through a quick startup sequence. For the first time when it powers on, it's just got the lights flashing. It's testing the circuit to make sure that it thinks it will work if it ever actually activates. There's a bypass switch on the side here, which allows you to actually run the machine like a traditional saw, so that if you're cutting something like aluminium or wet wood or something conductive, which would actually cause an activation because it will sense your body mass through that conductive material. So to be able to cut those sorts of materials, you can override the safety mechanism. But in this case, green light showing. When I fire the saw up, the safety mechanism's in place. What it's doing is there's a microprocessor in this unit. It's sending a small charge, about a 3 volt charge into the blade, and it's looking to see how that drops when you're cutting. So I'll just bring my fence across. John, you might want to come around this side just to get a view. I'm just going to support the blade, the sausage on either side as I slide it into the blade.
Holy shit, that is amazing. I don't believe it.
Well, there isn't any damage.
Isn't that absolutely
amazing? You can see, it's not only that, but the blade stopped, but you can't even accidentally hit the blade. You're more likely to go right through and hit the riving knife than you are to hit the blade.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So yeah, that's the Sawstop, and it's unbelievable technology.
Yep. So that blade is now firmly wedged into that block of aluminium. Unfortunately, you don't just buy the little $100 attachment, you've got to buy the whole saw, and they ain't cheap. But what's a finger worth? What's a hand worth?